This is an experimental segment, but I found this so fascinating. It all started with a tweet that I put out probably a week ago now, and candidly, we were going to do this last week, but we had Ozzie Guillen come on late, and we spent so much time with him that I said, you know what? This is still relevant, and we will talk about this next week. So the week is here. So here's how this all started, February 21st, okay? Daniel Jones is seeking $45 million a year for his new contract, according to Dov Kleiman, covers the NFL. I commented on that tweet saying the following. Daniel Jones had 15 touchdowns, 5 picks, and a passer rating of 92.5 in 2022. For some context, this would be as if Mitch Trubisky, after 2018, demanded $45 million per year. Jones is not worth what he's asking for. I'm not the only one who thinks this. Boomer Esiason, WFAN, said the following. It's ridiculous for Jones to ask for this. $45 million, you're out of your mind. You got to understand who you are. 15 touchdowns and 5 picks is not getting you $45 million per year. So it really made me think. All the creative juices were flowing in my head. And I thought, you know what? It would be interesting to do a case study on the similarities between Mitch Trubisky's 2018 season and Daniel Jones's 2022 season. Because believe it or not, they were eerily similar, and believe it or not, as players, they're eerily similar to this day. Like literally 0.1 difference in career passer rating. That's it. 86.4 for Mitch, 86.5 for Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones is entering his 5th year. The Bears declined Mitch Trubisky's 5th-year option, and it looks like the Giants are going to pick it up for having a year that was similar to Mitch in 2018. The Giants are going to regret this move. Regardless of what you think of Mitch Trubisky, I'll be the first to tell you, and I like Mitch, he is not worth $45 million per year. He's not. He's not worth that much money. So why the hell does Daniel Jones think he deserves that much money? I want to take a look at this chart here, these numbers in front of me. So Daniel Jones this past year, 3,200 passing yards, a 67% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks, and a passer rating of 92.5. Mitch Trubisky, 2018, 66.6 completion percentage, so about a full percent below Daniel Jones. 3,200 passing yards, nearly the same amount as Daniel Jones. They're separated by 18 yards. 24 touchdowns compared to 15 for Jones. 12 picks. Jones only had 5, so Jones less picks, but much less touchdowns. And Mitch Trubisky had a passer rating of 95.4. Jones, 92.5. They practically had the same season. Literally the same thing. And after 2018, there was no talk from anybody about $45 million per year for Mitch Trubisky. And by the way, the Chicago media scene is soft. New York media is pretty hard-hitting. I'm surprised nobody has come out and drawn this comparison or taken a look at this and said, Daniel Jones, you're out of your mind. Boomer Esiason did, but I'm surprised this is not making the media rounds. What world do we live in when it comes to NFL quarterbacks? I would rather sign Jacoby Brissett or Geno Smith or any other free agent and have them still compete with Daniel Jones. Last year did not prove that he is starting quarterback material. It proved that he works in a system, that the Giants had a good defense. That's what it proved. It didn't prove that he is a franchise guy. He's a leader. He's the one reason why the Giants made it as far as they did. It doesn't prove any of that. Why the hell does he think he deserves $45 million? I mean, $45 million for Daniel Jones? Just last year, everybody said he's going to be gone, going to be cut. Last prove-it year, not good enough. And last season, in 11 games, he had 10 touchdowns and 7 picks. You don't think that's going to repeat in some capacity? One good year with Brian Daboll doesn't mean the next 5 are going to be the same. And by the way, a good year for Daniel Jones is 15 touchdowns and 5 picks. That's nothing. He played a full season. That's nothing. That's less than 1 touchdown per game. All he did was not turn the ball over, which is great. But does that make you deserve $45 million? He did his job as a quarterback. Good job. You should get paid the average rate for a quarterback now. Instead of your rookie contract, yeah, you'll get paid the average rate for the 32 starting quarterbacks in all of football. Perfect. No, you want the top rate. You want Lamar Jackson money. You want Patrick Mahomes money for what? Not turning the ball over? Whoop-de-doo. You do a basic thing and you want X amount of money? It should be intuitive by year 4 that you're not fumbling the ball 20 times per season or throwing more picks and touchdowns. That should be intuitive. If you're not doing that by year 4, your ass is going to be on the street or on the bench. So what makes you think you deserve $45 million? It's actually entitled. It's an entitled stance to have if you're Daniel Jones. Say what you want about Mitch Trubisky, but I didn't hear him clamoring for $45 million after 2018. He kept his mouth shut and still played and tried hard. And their seasons were the same. Where does he get off in demanding this much money? I'm just so stunned that no one's making a bigger deal about this. I know there's so much else going on in the NFL now. There's whole Jalen Carter news. Derek Carr's making the rounds now. Aaron Rodgers, where's he going to go? There's a big quarterback carousel. I get this is not the sticking point for everybody. But in New York, it should be. I know New York media. I've had guests on my program. They're hard on people. Why is nobody making a big deal about this? Side by side, if you compare Mitch Trubisky in 2018 to Daniel Jones in 2022, it's the same season. Everybody says Mitch Trubisky's a bust. Everybody says Mitch Trubisky blows. Everybody says that the Bears should not have moved up to take him and that he set the Bears back. But Mitch Trubisky never demanded $45 million per year. Daniel Jones, having a similar or lesser season than Mitch, is demanding top-rate money. And all he did to improve was not turn the ball over. He discovered how to be a basic starting quarterback in football, and now he thinks, I deserve to be paid. No. And more people have to start getting on this because, Giants fans, I'm worried about you. I'm really concerned. You're going to be stuck with a quarterback who's going to be mediocre at best for the rest of his life and the rest of his time in New York, and you're going to be paying him so much money that your team's going to be cash-strapped and cap-strapped to the point where you can't sign anybody else. There are reports today saying they might only be able to keep one, Saquon Barkley, or Daniel Jones. They can't keep both. You're going to pick Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley even? I know you don't pay a running back, but in this case, I'd pay the running back if I had a choice. We need to be more aware of what's going on there in New York. All of us do. But for the sake of their fan base and for the sake of the team and the health of the team moving forward, Daniel Jones is not going to replicate last year every year. And even if he does, okay, that's not game-changing. It's fringe playoff contending, not game-changing. For a fringe playoff contending performance, you do not deserve $45 million. I don't even think Lamar Jackson deserves $45 million, but he might get it. Fine. Okay, you can't win every battle, but this is not $45 million worthy. Daniel Jones is not an MVP winner. Daniel Jones is not a record holder for rushing yards per season per quarterback. He is a mid-level quarterback who finally learned how to hold on to the football. And it's been his 4th year in the NFL. That's kind of sad. He does not deserve that much money. He already has 42 fumbles in his career. I mean, he had 19 in 2019 and 10 in 2020. He led the league in fumbles. He has the 17th most fumbles amongst active quarterbacks in football. He's played in the league 4 years. Amongst all active quarterbacks, starting and backup, anybody who's considered even a free agent, 17th in all of football amongst active quarterbacks. Ouch. And he wants $45 million per year. Probably about $1 million for every fumble that he's committed in the NFL. 42 fumbles, $45 million. So $1 million for every fumble he's committed. And we're going to hear Giants fans saying, you're being a hater. I'm trying to look out for you. This is not the right move. And I have not seen enough to convince myself that he deserves any money whatsoever beyond his rookie contract. I would almost still decline his fifth-year option. I would, because you know what? You could get this production out of anybody. You could get it out of Geno Smith. You could get it out of Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett put up 3,600 yards in his 1 year starting for the Colts, and they were in shambles. You could get this same production out of Jacoby Brissett or Tyrod Taylor if he played a full year. I know he's backing up Daniel Jones now. If you're looking for this production, there are ways to do it for $10 million to $15 million per year. So why waste $30 million in cap space per year for an extended amount of time for no reason? Daniel Jones and Mitch Trubisky had similar years, but the paths could be different. But I do know one thing. Mitch Trubisky was not demanding anything from anybody except, hey, I'm going to work harder and we're going to try and really win it all. That's awesome. That's great. I don't know, and I'm laughing. I sit here and I smile and I laugh because I don't know how it's possible that everybody's just going along with this story that Daniel Jones gets $45 million. I can't even imagine what would happen if he was on the Bears and I heard that he wants $45 million. This microphone would be on the floor, and this table would probably be upheaved. So I don't understand where the logic comes from. And the thing that really hurts me, and this is why Giants fans, you might make your bet in this, no one's really speaking out about it too much. I haven't heard much about, hey, this is kind of ridiculous. Hey, this makes no sense. There's been kind of nothing. There's been some things from national NFL insiders and the national community, but there hasn't been enough from Giants fans to combat these reports. They listen to you more than you think, I'm telling you. Look at Justin Fields coming in last year when he shouldn't have come in. Matt Nagy caved to everybody. They listen to you. Giants fans, speak up. 15 touchdowns and 5 picks, newsflash, is not good. It's fine. It's 18th to 20th best QB stats in the NFL. Great. Hey, good job, Daniel Jones. You didn't throw too many picks, and you stopped fumbling the football. That's awesome. That's great. You've now achieved level 1 of being a quarterback in the NFL. You're now a level 1 quarterback. Good job. It took you 4 years to do it. So now you think because you passed level 1, you're on to level 2, you deserve a $30 million pay raise? No, that's not how it works. Win something. Prove to everybody you deserve it. I've seen this song and dance before, and I've seen literally the same season before from Mitch Trubisky. Giants administration, Joe Shane, whom the Bears could have hired last year. Don't do this. Don't pay him. Because if you do, Giants fans are going to be all over you. You know it, and I know it too.